see it. Thousands of people in Alaska taken to the street to protest the Trump regime for allowing Vladimir Putin to set foot on America's soil in Alaska. Huge credit to our friends to stand up Alaska and encourage foreign organizing and leading such a powerful demonstration. Protesters made it clear we do not welcome authoritarian dictators in our state. Just look at some of the signs from Anchorage as Vladimir Putin touched down and with Donald Trump arriving for meeting where he plans to sell out Ukraine and our allies to Putin. Protesters held powerful signs. Ukraine and Alaska, Russia never again. Putin abducted 19,546 Ukrainian kids. Trump can release them. Release the kid.com. Crowd filled with street, with even a local band keeping spirits high. Other signs read, Putin is a war criminal and Alaska stand with Ukraine. One message summed up, Zelensky should be here, yet Trump and Putin deliberately excluded Ukrainian president from these Alaska talks, where reports say they considering a deal to hand over part of Ukraine to Russia. According to the Telegraph, the arrangement could mirror Israel occupation of the West Bank and Gaza, only this time with Russia seizing and occupying Ukrainian land and its own. Protesters carried more signs reading, Putin go home and take your orange puppet with you. Others stood in solidarity with Ukraine, as reported by Anchorage Daily News, while Trump and Putin prepare to meet at joint base Elmendorf. It was remembering during Trump's first term, he infamously tried to invite the Taliban to Camp David on the anniversary of 9/11. Now he is hosting Vladimir Putin on the JS military base in Alaska, a place Russia has a long claim as its own. Protesters all of a gather at the busy intersection of the shared highway and Northern Lights Boulevard, filling the air with honks, chairs and music from the marching band. Ukrainian flags wave alongside clever point signs. Some called out Trump's brother policies, while others zeroed on his meeting with Putin or read, I can see fascists from my house. A sharp twist on old SNL parody of Sarah Palin 2008 remark about Alaska closeness to Russia. Another one, Putin would not stop to Ukraine, reflecting local fear that Russia could one day try to reclaim Alaska, which it sold to the US in 1867. The protests were a powerful display of resistance and concern. Right there, you can see Putin jet touching down the Anchorage. He is in now an American soil. This is a deeply humiliating day, one that will go down in infamy for the United States as Donald Trump disgraced our nation in plain view. That's the reality unfolding in Alaska. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., Trump is asserting control over the Metropolitan Police Department in what can only be described as fascist takeover. National Guard troops have been deployed. Streets are being shut down and unlawful checkpoints being set up throughout the city. We will covering every angle of these unprecedented developments. Here at Union Station, you can see growing group of heavily militarized federal forces, whether National Guard or other units, patrolling Washington D.C. endlessly, circling the areas and harassing everyday people. We are also learning that Attorney General Pam Bondi is now asserting she has the authority to remove Washington D.C. Metropolitan Police Chief Terry Cole. Pam Bondi has issued an order to remove the current Metropolitan Police Commissioner in Washington D.C. and install Terry Cole, currently head of DEA, as the new chief, giving him full authority and directing all of officers to report to the DEA immediately. DC Mayor Mariel Bowser and Attorney General Brian Sewell have condemned the move as blatantly unlawful and vowed non-compliance, refusing to recognize the firing of the police chief. The scene unfolding in DC is deeply disturbing. At the same time, while Governor Gavin Newsom was delivering a speech at the Japanese American National Museum in Los Angeles, drawing parallels between World War II, intervened camps, and two-way threats to civil rights. Trump dispatched IC and Border Patrol agents to storm the event. They harassed, intimidated, and arrested attendees. Targeted gathering focus on advancing a bloc initiative to safeguard democracy. Fox News later reported on the confrontation in its own framing.
Border Patrol agents are making arrests, illegal immigrants that I don't know if they were at this press conference, if they were in the area, but this is a very, as John put it when we first saw this video, a very in-your-face way to let, Democrats know that you are going to do your job, that you're going to carry out these Trump policies. Can you just respond to this video that we're watching right now?
Yeah, every single one of our ICE and Border Patrol operations is built on information, on investigative work. It's a case and an operation that has been planned because of who they think could be in that area.
So from Washington, D.C., we move to Los Angeles and now over to the UK and Scotland, where JD Vance has been indulging in lavish getaways. All summer long, he's been hopping from the vacation to another, shutting down Disneyland for himself, spending week in San Diego despite constantly claiming he hates California and even having the Army Corps of Engineers rise water level in Ohio just to improve his personal kayaking experience. After that, he jet off the UK for yet another trip. And now we are learning that a major restaurant in Scotland faced a fell on staff mutiny when JD Vance showed up. The employees flat out refused to serve him and made it clear they would not come to work if the restaurant went through with letting him dine there. A staff revolt forced the management of an upscale British countryside pub to turn away JD Vance. Just week after the same venue had hosted Vice President Kamala Harris. Reports say Vance tried to dine at the Bull in Tilbury and Oxfordshire, a historic 16th century pub and Michelin star restaurant, but the staff declared we were not showing up if you let JD Vance in. Moments like this, resistance in Los Angeles, encourage Washington DC, and now the UK show people standing up and saying no to authoritarianism. We have seen protests against Trump in Aberdeen and now open defense against Vance. These acts of pushback are powerful reminders that we must assert both our moral and formal authority against fascism, and we must do it boldly, together and without fear. Donald Trump is sitting at record low approval rating. According to the latest Pew Research poll, his numbers are among the lowest of any modern president, and they are only headed further down. Just look at his recent action. They reflect pure authoritarianism, the kind of behavior you had expect from Marxist or Maoist regime, not from an American leader. Right now, the Trump regime is openly discussing taking control of private industry, starting with Intel. After Trump's meeting with the Intel CEO, reports indicate they want to buy Intel in the company, essentially seizing portion of it. On top of that, they are demanding companies like Nevada and other pay what are essentially tribute taxes if they want permission to export. This is central government planning in its rarest form, and yet mega Republicans and their media allies will lecture us that universal health care, freedom, education, and make sure hungry people can eat is socialism. This hypocrisy is staggering. Trump is running a system more like the People's Republic of China, weaponize the government to crush law, firm, seize business, and consolidate power. Just yesterday, in a bizarre Oval Office press conference, Trump was asked if he intended to hand over the rare earth mineral from Ukraine and major resources from Alaska to Vladimir Putin as part of some backroom deal. Trump, desperate from a win with Putin, appears ready to sell out Ukraine. Let's not forget Trump wants to build Ukrainians into giving the US rights to its rare earth mineral in exchange for protection. No, he openly signaled that he might pass those resources straight to Putin, alongside discussion of Gaza-style occupation of Ukrainian territory, which what he said yesterday. Play this clip.
Are you prepared to offer Vladimir Putin access to rare minerals to incentivize him to end the war?
We're going to see what happens with our meeting. We have a big meeting, and it's going to be, I think, very important for Russia, and it's going to be very important for us, and important for us only that we're going to save a lot of lives.
And finally, at the same time, Donald Trump is blasting out email falsely claiming that his disastrous budget will eliminate taxes on social security. This is simply not true. What the bill actually includes are temporary deduction, roughly $60,000 that only lasts until around 2028. Meanwhile, the permanent provision or massive tax cuts for billionaires. And despite Trump's repeated promise, there is nothing in this budget that removes taxes on tips and on social security. He claimed no tax on social security is a complete fabrication. It's nowhere in the bill. And finally, just look at the latest procedure price index, the measure of the whole scale. Inflation released yesterday is surging and the data is dim. Inflation is climbing sharply month after month, and all signs point to it continuing to rise. The main drive, Donald Trump's reckless tariffs on the global market, which are now backfiring in devastating fashion.